Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is the last DIY Dollar Tree decorative wrapped box. This is the last 2 ways, and it's really just one box, but I'm going to show you 2 techniques and it'll come out really nice. And this box happens to be a free box. Basically, you want to use any square box. I really like the size of this. This came from Aldi's. It was coffee. And then I'm going to use some of the white craft paper from the Dollar Tree in the teacher section, but you could do whatever you want. And then we're going to use one of the black and white buffalo check scarves. But again, the fabric part is optional. And then, of course, the trimmings and stuff are optional as well. So obviously, I've emptied the coffee out. So the reason I wanted to show you these 2 techniques in one package was because not so much at the one like from Big Lots, but sometimes these boxes look like they're padded boxes, almost like they're upholstered. And I also wanted to show you how you can do whatever you want to wrap them in by using this plain paper. I will tell you though, I was very frustrated because I messed up cutting it and I didn't want to waste it. So I'll explain that to you when we get there. But in the meantime, you want to start off by wrapping this like a regular present. And the reason that I messed up cutting it up is because even though my table was totally clean, and right now you see some stuff around it, it is just too small for this project. Because this box is so big, we really needed extra paper and extra stuff. What I don't think that you guys realize sometimes is that because we're YouTubers, we don't only have to accommodate for all of our craft stuff, but we also have to accommodate for our camera equipment. And then we have to do things at certain angles so that you guys can see them. And I'm not trying to complain any at all, but sometimes it looks more difficult when I do it than when you would do it. Or it's a lot more difficult to do it on camera than it would be if I was doing it off camera. So the thing that I wanted to show you with this particular wrapped box to make them look not professional, but like finished, I think is the word I want to use, is that you want to go ahead and try to wrap this box just like you would a regular Christmas present, right? So I'll show you here. You start off by making all of your folds. You're going to fold your top and bottom in. You're going to fold your you're going to pinch your left and right sides at angles, just like we would do, right? You just run your fingers up. Then you're going to fold that part in just to get a crease in there, okay? And then you're going to repeat that on the other side as well, okay? And the reason that we're doing this is we're going to create fold marks, and then we're going to fold it almost backwards. And I'll show you when we get there. It is, like I said, it's a little bit more difficult to do on such a large box, but you guys can kind of get, hopefully you'll be able to get what I'm showing you. Now, the reason I really like this particular box is that if you have little kids, you can totally let them have at it. They could decorate as much as they want, as little as they want. My original plan was to basically use my stamping technique to make this paper into buffalo check paper. But I knew that since I was going to go ahead and wrap it in fabric anyway, I could skip that step. But I just wanted to inspire you guys that maybe you can do that. Maybe you can go ahead and either use the magic marker technique or the paint technique. So basically what we did was we created all of our folds, and now we're just going to fold everything opposite. And we're going to fold our triangles in first. And we're going to kind of almost like a brown paper bag, like when you used to fold brown paper bags at the grocery store. We're going to start to fold them in, and then we're going to fold the flat flaps over them. And what this is going to do is this is going to give us a nice finished edge on the corners. Okay, so it just takes a little bit of manipulating, and obviously I'm very frustrated. Like I said, it's very large. Even when I stood up, it was hard to like see it. When I stood up, my head was in the way of the camera, so it's, you know. But if you fold your triangles in, and then you fold your square flaps down, and your square flap up, you can see how you get this nice finished edge. And then you want to finish it with double sticky tape. And then you can go ahead and print, or like I said, have the kids do hand prints. You can just write any kind of verbiage on it or fontage on it. You can take some Dollar Tree stickers and just go to town. And then the other side, we're just going to repeat at super high speed. But what I actually did, I feel really bad, was I had to like crinkle this paper flat just to like turn the box over. So that's why it's very crinkly. But just to show you the same thing. So you want to fold your bottom up and then make your triangle folds. fold your top down, then make your triangle folds. Then you want to open it all up and you want to fold your triangles in, and then you want to fold your bottom up and your top down. And like I said, this is going to create a nice finished edge. You won't have those triangle shapes. Now again, that's not objectionable to you if you use any kind of paper that has a pattern. This is just to help continuity of the pattern on the package. You won't have to worry about any of those triangle moves or triangle folds, okay? So double sticky tape everything closed, make it nice and pretty. Now I am not really taping this down very well, and the reason that I'm not taping it down very well is because I'm going to cover it with fabric. The fact that this is sort of not streamlined will give it that batting sort of feel. I'm not worried about it coming off, so don't you guys worry about it coming off. We're going to glue the fabric down really well. But you see how it's almost taking on a puffy appearance right now, and we haven't even wrapped it in the fabric? That's what I was trying to say. So we're going to end up making it, it's almost going to have like a very batting feel to it. So all it's going to take for this to wrap this entire box is one scarf. One scarf is almost perfect. We, again, are not going to wrap the bottom of this box like we did with a couple of fabric covered ones the other day. We're just going to do it on the sides and on the top. So this is the black and white buffalo check scarf. So it is already fleecy, which I thought would also enhance that sort of upholstered look. All right. And this box just happens to be almost exactly perfect. I think this scarf is 9 inches wide, I believe. So this must be like an 8-inch box. It folds over just a little bit on both sides, and it wraps it wraps more than entirely around it. And then we just cut off the perfect amount to fit on the top. It was kind of amazing. So all I'm doing is I'm gluing down the very, very front edge. You want to overlap it over the corner so that you can end right on a corner. And then I've spaced it evenly between the top and the bottom, and I'm just going to glue down the sides. We don't have to do any fancy corners here because you don't see the corners because we're wrapping it around. And then we're going to cover it. And because it's a fleece fabric and not a tight, thin fabric, we don't have to worry about the bulkiness of the underside fabric coming through. Okay? So we're just going to glue those 4 corners down on top of itself when we get to there. All right. Now, don't worry if you see me shake my fingers. I have this on low temp, but what I found out that even if I get glue on my fingers, if it's cooled off, it's really hard to glue the next thing without having the glue stick to your fingers to the glue. Yeah. Anyway, so we're just going to fold both edges over. Now, you can decide which is the top and the bottom. It's entirely up to you. The one thing that I used to determine was when I took my piece of fabric that I had left over, and I went to match up the pattern. That's what determined to me what would be the front, the back, and everything. Okay. So I'm just cutting the fringe off. Of course, save the fringe because you never know, right? That's what I always say. You never know. And now I'm just trying to line up the pattern because I'm sure you're aware if you've ever used the scarf before. This is not perfect squares. These are actually rectangles. So they do have like a direction. I know that sounds silly, but buffalo check doesn't normally have a direction. But these do have a direction because they are rectangles. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match the pretty front with whatever rectangles go in that direction to line up the top, if that makes sense, like this here. Find your favorite front. There you go, Jerry. All right, now, let me see if I tilt it down so you guys can see. Line it up, add some glue, tuck it under, cut off the excess. There we go. Okay, so now I have the front tucked under so it matches up the buffalo check. And now we're just going to glue along the back, and we're just going to try to match up the stripes. Even though it won't match up the rows and the columns, we're just going to match up the columns. Okay? And make sure you don't glue all the way to the corners so that when you do the sides, you don't have to worry about how am I going to get the fabric underneath. Okay? Like that. But I find it the best to actually fold the fabric under, then hit it with some hot glue and push it down. That worked out really, really well. All right? Now, as far as embellishments are concerned, I'm still sticking with the theme of buffalo of burlap and some sort of floral embellishment on the top. I do have one more cotton and pine cone pine pick from the Dollar Tree left over that we're going to add to this. We'll do just a little zhuzhing on it, and I'll show you what I mean. But what I decided to do for this one is do some of the natural edged old school burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. The ones that are kind of falling apart. Because I kind of felt like this had a very fluffy feel because it felt upholstered to me. That it could go ahead and just add to that, you know. So I've taken one piece and I've gone all the way around. And this is just me being cheap again. If you have plenty of this, use it all. I wanted to show you can go all the way around, or you can just do strips. So this particular box has got all of the techniques pretty much. I'm gluing from the edge of where the burlap is to around the back. I said I didn't really want to have doubled up layers in the middle, just for aesthetic reasons, but really that's entirely up to you. Do what works for you, right, boo? Okay, just add a little strip of hot glue. Definitely want to use your rubber spatula or your hot hands or whatever, because that glue likes to come through that natural edge burlap really well. Okay, and then we're going to make a faux bow. Have you ever made a faux bow? So if you're going to put a really large floral embellishment or any kind of embellishment in the middle of a bow, no need to make a bow. You could just make a faux bow. So what's a faux bow, I ask? Okay. Or you may ask, I should say. Okay, let's show you. So I'm going to take a little bit of the natural edge burlap, basically half width, and I'm going to just basically make like almost a support ribbon where we're going to go up and around and over and back down. I know that sounds silly, but you know what a support ribbon looks like? A breast cancer awareness or AIDS awareness support ribbon. So you're going to go up and then back, just directly back down. We're not going to actually seal anything in the middle. I'll show you. Here we go. Find your pretty front side, right? So I want to show you this one technique just to add tails. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a faux bow. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and back and down around, and we're going to put that bow, we're going to pinch that bow close. It almost looks like a scarf, right? But here's the thing. Because we're going to put an embellishment right in the middle, you're never going to tell that that bow is not tied. Just a tip from me to you. I decided to take off a piece of pine because I wanted to hide that you could see the underneath of it. So I just pulled off one of the pieces of pine and I moved it around to the back just to hide the actual stem work, and that's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed all these tutorials, these series. It's been really fun. They look so cute in my 2 sleighs on my fireplace. So make sure that you join us for our house tour when that comes. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in seeing any of these techniques from the series. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. And when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye.